So last night, at the end of the day, I was exhausted. I didn't feel like starting this whole floor here, so I decided instead to get all the lumber up there and ready to use. So I wouldn't have to do it today. So this morning I could start hanging my joist hangers, which I've done. And now I'm going to hang this side, and then I'm going to put some joists up. Yeah, should be fun.
So here I am installing joist hangers like I have a million times during this garage project. Make sure you use the right nails when you do it. So the beams that I'm installing them on have a slot in the top so that I can slide plywood in, which you'll see coming up. I did that by basically taking a small piece of plywood, thin piece of plywood, and clamping it or nailing it along the bottom so that it has a little trough for the plywood to set in. So anyway, then the next step was putting on the rim for the outside wall that holds the weight of the outside wall above it, which is only a little short wall, but needs to be there. Then installing the joists. Pretty simple. It turns out if you buy 14-foot joists when you need 12-foot joists, you'll get your solid blocking out of the scrap for every joist, which I only found out because the lumberyard gave me 14s instead of 12s, and it was awesome because every other time I was always scrambling to find solid blocking. The other thing I learned during this particular install was that if you put your ladder directly under the joist you're nailing, you can nail to the left, to the right, and the joist that you're under. So you have to move your ladder less, which is nice because I hate moving my ladder. Yeah, and the other part was putting in solid blocking, then throwing the plywood on top and nailing it down. So, yeah, pretty simple.
Okay, it's lunchtime. Got the floor done. It's nailed. It's done. So that's good. I'm not happy with how it turned out. Somehow, over the course of building up 36 feet and out 36 feet in two directions, the middle is 12 foot 1 and the outside is 12 foot. So it's kind of a bummer, but it's really not all that surprising. I mean, it's not all that like depressing. You know, putting these two posts basically are half an inch out, which I think over their total height is pretty good. I mean, I was just leveling them with a level. I didn't check to see that they were 12-1. I don't think there's anything I could have done about that. So, yeah, so that's done. Next step is that end wall and putting in my supports for the upper beams and then putting in the upper beams. Then build this wall, put in my supports for the upper beams, and then put in the upper beams. And then, crazily enough, the only thing left are rafters. It's the roof rafters. So, yeah, it's pretty awesome. Lunch.